the time being, let's suppose there's no graphics on the screen, okay? So what I would normally do is I'd come up to my video query and go into our content manager, which is TerraShare, and select that as my source of my data. Now I can query on a number of different things. You know, any attribute, they're just features in the database. Okay. So any attributes that go along with that video feature can be used to filter for the query. Okay. I can also filter on spatial components. Okay. Or date and time. So I might say, show me predator data over Fort Huachuca for the last week. Okay, and then I can store the queries and just have a series of them that I can just load at a later time. So that's essentially what I did, and this is the result of that query.
Oh, very nice.
Okay, so I have my backdrop, my images. I have some other, vector features in there, point features, but most importantly, I have the location of my video. The yellow lines show the video footprint, okay, and the kind of pinkish color line is the video frame center, okay. So based on that, I have these slide this over. Here's the video center. Here are the 6 videos that came back from the query. Okay.
Yeah, so he had very nice search and retrieval capability.
Right.
The data set can be massive.
Oh, exactly.
I was talking to a fellow retired brigadier general, and they just get information overloaded.
Right.
They give them too much information, they just can't process it all.
Yeah, and one of the things that we've heard is, if you don't process it now, it essentially gets lost, right? Well, if you don't process it now, it goes into our database, right, or into the video warehouse.
Yes.
And now you might be doing something and say, gosh, wonder if something was going on here last week. Now you can go query it based on time, location, sensor, those types of things. So you have access to things you normally would have maybe lost, right? So it is very nice. So.
And it's also you did a very nice job on the interface.
Well, the whole architecture here, the foundation for this is our GeoMedia Professional. So it brings all that ability to fuse other data sources and all the query capabilities. It's integrated. I mean, it's part of the product. So that's why developing this. In concert with an existing COTS product, you get all the power of the existing product for nothing. Right. So
I can see there's a lot of functionality that is already in there. It's like
right. So we look at motion video as just another data source. So we handle raster, elevation data, point, line, polygons, and now video. So let me get over to the real good stuff, and I'm going to let this run here so we can see a little more detail. Let me zoom in here just a bit. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and start this. So now we have the video playing over here in this window, but we're also now taking it and mapping it into so you get the geospatial referencing. Okay. Now we're highly dependent on accurate telemetry data, and you're going to see a couple places where it's going to jump out of that path, and it's just because the telemetry is off. You get a couple of bad frames, and so it just shows how highly dependent we are on having good data.
As Gina was saying, this is very similar to the TerraSite product right in here. This ability to map
So as this is going on, if we were to see something of interest, I can come over here and select my clip mark and double click on that, and that's going to put a mark. And I also have snapshots turned on. So it's going to take a snapshot and leave that displayed on my map.
Sure.
Okay. And then here's the star indicates. That's a little right. So there's different types of tracking graphics that you can show as well. And if you look over here, more of a zoomed out, you can see again.
Very nice.
So let me just.
Yeah, wonderful job on the interface.
It is very intuitive. It's real easy just to kind of step in and start using this without much of a learning curve at all. But we could let me just go over here. Another thing that you can do is if I select this one, I can come in and say, you know what? I just want to play that time range. So I don't always have to start from the very beginning. I can pick segments out of the video and play just those. I can also take them and let me expand this. I'm going to pause it. But if I come over here, you see that segment that's been identified, and I can say extract clip, so I can pull just segments out that I want, and automatically can be put right back into the warehouse so you don't lose it, right? And now that becomes queryable just like everything else that you have. The snapshots, come back here and select the snapshot, and I can do image enhancement stuff. I just put a color table on that. But again, because the snapshot is nothing more than another feature, there's attributes to that, and one of the attributes is the location of where that file is stored. So I can now open that in my light table and come up here and see if I get the right template here. Yeah. So now I have a template built for creating a report. I can come in and do annotation on that and say this is the feature that we're looking at. So you go from live video to a report in what, 5 minutes?
Yeah, nice.
So
and then you can, of course, hard copy print that out.
Exactly. Save it to a JPEG or bitmap or something, and pass it on and print it out however you need. So.
Do you have any product literature on the actual program?
This has all our product literature for our military and intel product suite.
Oh, okay, good.
So everything about this should be on there.
Okay, good.
But obviously, there's I don't have my